Once upon a time, deep within the emerald embrace of a sprawling forest, there lived a magnificent tiger. His stripes were like burnished gold against his midnight fur, and his roar was a symphony of power that echoed through the valley. This was Raja, the majestic Bengal tiger, whose strength and ferocity made him the undisputed ruler of his domain. But despite his imposing stature and untamed spirit, Raja harbored a secret sorrow. You see, as much as he loved his life in the wild, as much as he reveled in the thrill of the hunt and the freedom of the open jungle, he was consumed by an aching loneliness. The other animals respected him. Yes, they revered him from a safe distance, but they rarely approached him. Not because they were afraid, for they knew his wrath could be as swift as it was merciless, but because they didn't understand him. They couldn't fathom the turmoil that raged within that noble beast. Day after day, Raja would prowl through his kingdom, his emerald eyes searching for a kindred spirit, someone who could match his wit, who could challenge his intellect, and who could be his confidant. But his hopes would dwindle with the setting sun, for it seemed his fate was to be forever alone. One fateful night, as the moon hung heavy in the velvet sky, Raja decided to venture beyond his familiar hunting grounds. He padded along an overgrown trail, his senses alert, his muscles tensed for action. Suddenly, a rustle in the undergrowth made him freeze. His amber eyes narrowed, his whiskers twitched as he focused on the sound. With a graceful leap, he landed a few feet away, his gaze fixed on the spot where the noise had come from. And what he saw made him pause in surprise. There, huddled in a corner, was a tiny kitten. She was no bigger than Raja's paw, her fur matted and dirty, her eyes wide with fear. Raja stared at the kitten, taken aback by her sheer vulnerability. For a moment, he hesitated, his instincts telling him to make a quick meal of this easy prey. But something in her terrified gaze held him back. Perhaps it was her innocence. Perhaps her helplessness. Whatever the reason, Raja found himself feeling an unexpected surge of protectiveness towards the tiny creature. He crouched down, his massive frame casting a long shadow over her, and let out a soft growl, a sound that was almost a purr. To his surprise, the kitten didn't cower or try to flee. Instead, she stared at him with a mixture of fear and defiance in her eyes. "Don't hurt me," she whispered, her voice trembling. "I won't hurt you," Raja rumbled, surprised by the gentleness of his own tone. "Why are you out here all alone?" The kitten looked up at him, her gaze steady. "I've lost my mother," she said simply. Raja felt a pang of sympathy. He knew what it meant to be separated from one's family. It was a pain that echoed in his own heart. "Come with me," he said softly, rising to his feet. "I will take care of you." And with that, an unlikely bond began to form between the majestic Bengal tiger and a tiny, stray kitten. Raja brought her to his den, a cozy hollow beneath the tangled roots of an ancient tree. He lavished her with affection, grooming her matted fur and feeding her warm milk. And as the days turned into weeks, he realized that this little kitten had not only filled the void in his own heart, but had become his constant companion and confidant. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Raja found himself sharing his innermost thoughts with his newfound friend. "I am strong," he said, his voice a low rumble. "I am feared, yet I am also deeply lonely." The kitten nestled against his side, her purr a soothing balm to his troubled soul. "You don't need to be alone, Raja," she said softly. "I am here. I am your friend." Her words struck a chord within him, resonating with the longing that had echoed in his heart for so long. He nuzzled her affectionately, feeling a warmth spread through his chest. For the first time in his life, Raja understood that companionship wasn't just about being by one's side. It was about sharing one's joys and sorrows, one's triumphs and fears, and most importantly, one's heart. As the years rolled by, Raja and the kitten, who he had named Maya, became inseparable. They hunted together, played in the dappled sunlight filtering through the trees, and shared their dreams beneath the star-studded sky. Their bond grew stronger with each passing season, defying the odds and challenging the very laws of nature. Their friendship became a legend in the animal kingdom. a testament to the power of love and companionship to transcend all boundaries. But their idyllic life together was not destined to last forever. On a day much like any other, Raja and Maya were exploring the dense undergrowth near their den when they stumbled upon a group of male tigers. They were larger than Raja, their muscles corded and their eyes gleaming with a predatory hunger. Well, what have we here? Sneered one of the tigers, his gaze fixed on Maya, a little kitty cat playing in the big bad jungle. Another tiger stepped forward, his claws extended, his fangs bared in a menacing snarl. Looks like dinner has arrived. Raja stood protectively in front of Maya, his body a shield against their aggression. Leave her alone, he growled, his voice laced with warning. The lead tiger laughed, a harsh, grating sound that echoed through the trees. And what are you going to do about it, little tiger? You're outnumbered and outmatched. We'll see about that! Raja retorted, his eyes blazing with defiance. With a sudden burst of speed, he lunged at the nearest tiger, his claws extended, his teeth bared. The fight was on. Claws slashed through the undergrowth, teeth met flesh, and the air was filled with the sounds of battle. Raja fought with the fury of a cornered tiger, driven by the primal instinct to protect his beloved Maya. But his strength, though great, was not enough to overcome the sheer number of his attackers. Just when he thought all hope was lost, he felt a sharp pain in his leg. One of the tigers had managed to land a vicious blow, and the wound was deep. Adrenaline surged through Raja's veins, masking the pain, but he knew he couldn't hold on much longer. With a final roar of defiance, he stumbled back, shielding Maya with his body. "Run, Maya," he gasped, his voice hoarse with exertion. "Run and get help!" She looked at him, her eyes wide with fear, but the urgency in his voice left no room for argument. With a desperate meow, she fled, racing through the thick foliage, her small heart pounding against her ribs. As Maya raced through the forest, her small paws pounding the soft earth, she knew exactly where she needed to go. The old wise owl, Athena, who lived atop the tallest tree in the forest. Athena was known for her wisdom and her ability to heal. If anyone could help Raja, it was her. Panting and out of breath, Maya finally reached Athena's tree. She climbed the rough bark, her claws finding purchase on the gnarled wood, and hooted frantically. Athena, roused from her slumber, peered out from her nest. Her amber eyes, sharp with intelligence, took in Maya's frantic state. "My child, what is it? Why are you so distressed?" "Raja, he's been hurt," Maya cried, her voice trembling. "He's being attacked by a group of tigers, and I don't know what to do." Athena, understanding the urgency of the situation, wasted no time in offering Maya comfort. "Don't worry, little one," she said soothingly. "I will help your Raja." With that, the wise owl spread her wings and soared into the sky, her keen eyesight scanning the forest floor for any sign of trouble. Meanwhile, back in the clearing, the battle was reaching its climax. Raja, wounded and weary, was surrounded by his attackers. His breaths were heavy, his muscles aching, but his spirit unbroken. Just when it seemed all hope was lost, a blur of feathers and talons swept through the clearing. Athena swooped down from the sky, her sharp beak and talons flashing in the sunlight. The tigers, startled by her sudden appearance, scattered, giving Raja and Maya a chance to escape. Grateful for the owl's timely intervention, Raja carefully limped away, supported by Maya. They made it back to the den, where Athena had followed them, her gaze never leaving Raja's injured leg. "This wound is deep," she said, her voice grave. "I can help heal him, but I will need your assistance." Maya, understanding the gravity of the situation, Maya wasted no time in gathering herbs and berries, following Athena's instructions to the letter. Together, the wise owl and the brave kitten worked tirelessly to nurse Raja back to health. Days turned into weeks, and slowly but surely, Raja's wounds began to heal. As he recovered, he realized that his ordeal had forged an even stronger bond between him and Maya. Her bravery, loyalty, and compassion had saved his life, and he loved her more than words could express. When Raja was finally strong enough to leave the den, he emerged, transformed. When Raja was finally strong enough to leave the den, he emerged, transformed. When Raja was finally strong enough to leave the den, he emerged, transformed. When Raja was finally strong enough to leave the den, he emerged, transformed. When Raja was finally strong enough to leave the den, he emerged, transformed. When Raja was finally strong enough to leave the den, he emerged, transformed.